Hey, what's up everyone? This is Frankie with meekspace.com. Today we're going to talk about Method 5 for Android devices. Method 5 is a way of copying files from the box.net account to your Android device. It uses a little different system. It does it either wirelessly or through your 3G or 4G connection. It's an application called Folder Sync, and you install it from the Android market onto your device, and then you set up your box.net account inside the accounts section of Folder Sync, and then you go in and you make folder pairs. So in other words, you choose a folder on box.net that you'd like to synchronize to a folder on your device, and then you can set it to synchronize either using wireless or using your 3G or 4G or both of them, and you can schedule it to synchronize daily, every few hours, weekly, or whatever. So it's a pretty neat thing because it synchronizes your files as long as your phone's turned on and within range of your Wi-Fi without you even having to do it. The one thing you do have to be very careful with is you never want to synchronize the entire theocratic folder. If you try to synchronize the whole theocratic folder, it's probably going to fail and not finish because the theocratic folder is like 20 gigs. Worst case scenario, you just won't have enough space on your device to copy everything. So you want to be very file specific. So when you synchronize a folder, you want to browse down inside a folder and synchronize just a specific folder, such as browsing into the iSilo folder and synchronizing iSilo. If you did the entire iSilo folder, it's going to synchronize everything underneath that, which means the Watchtower library, which you'll get all the languages, that would fill your phone up. So you want to browse all the way into the specific folder that you need and let it synchronize that. So let's get started. I'll show you how to do it. The first thing you want to do is take your Android device. What we're working with today is a Motorola Atrix running Android, and you'll want to visit the market, the Android market, and you're going to want to do a search for Folder Sync. And you'll come up with two versions, Folder Sync Lite and Folder Sync. Now I bought the full version because I really like the way the app works, but I believe you can get Folder Sync Lite to do what you need to without spending any money. I have both of them installed, and today we're going to set up Folder Sync Lite, the free one, and make sure it can work for us. So I've created a shortcut for Folder Sync Lite. This is the first time I've ran it on this device. Now the difference with the Lite version is you can only set up one account, and also it throws ads in the application. So the section you want to start with is called Accounts. So you'll go into Accounts, and there's ads and things again on every menu because it's the Lite version. But at the bottom there's a Create New. Now here you want to add your box.net account. So under Name, I'm just going to call this Box, just so I know what it is. And then under the account type, you want to choose, there's all kinds of different online file systems. You want to choose box.net. And then it's going to give you the opportunity to put in your login name and your password. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off of screen here, and then we'll come back. So what I'm doing now is under the login name, I'm going to go ahead and enter in my login name for my box.net account. And then of course I'm going to put the password for my account in. And what it's doing is it's saving this information so that the program can log into box.net without you having to type in your information every time. Alright, so here we are again. So we filled out our login name, our password, and we're going to save that. Now we have our one account, which the Lite version allows us to create. We're going to go back to our main menu, and our next thing we want to go into is folder pairs. So in folder pairs, we want to create a paired folder with box.net and our device. So we're going to go to Create New. And the name doesn't really matter what it is, but I'm going to synchronize, let's see, let's synchronize, let's do Kingdom Ministry. So I'm going to do Kingdom Ministry. I'll just do KM. And I'm going to do I'm going to do the PDF versions of the Kingdom Ministry. So this can be whatever you want, but I'm going to use something that tells me what it is. The account type is going to be the only one you set up, which is the box.net. Under the remote folder, when you click on that, it's going to use your account info you put in, and it's going to sign into box.net. You're going to have a theocratic folder. And remember, I'm trying to set up ones for KMs. So in PDF format. Now those are currently located under Tools and Study Material, and then under Kingdom Ministry. So I'm going to synchronize that entire folder. I know there's not a lot of large files in there, and these other folders have smaller files, so I know it's not too big of a folder to synchronize. So I'm going to do the whole folder. So my remote folder is going to be that path there, and my local folder is where I want to save those things at. So it's going to take you into your local SD card that's built into your phone, but I want mine to go to my external card. So I'm going to choose the main root folder, and I'm going to go into my external card, which on my device is called SD card external. And I have a theocratic folder, and since I'm doing Kingdom Ministry KMs in PDF format, I'm going to choose that folder and select it. So now the remote folder is there, my local folder is there. The sync type, I'm going to leave it alone. If you click on that, you can do local folder, to remote folder, or two-way, which in other words you can sync it back and forth, but most users don't have write access, so they couldn't do that. So you just leave it on local folder, which means it'll bring it from there and put it on your device. Okay, so your next choice is going to be to use a scheduled sync, which I do, and the default's daily, which is fine with me. But if you go into the sync, you've got other options here that you can choose. So we're just going to do daily. Then you notice if you scroll on down, you have a lot of other choices that you can do. By default, subfolders are selected, so you can choose to do those if you want. Other things that you can choose. The one other thing I wanted to do is under connections, you can choose to allow the program to use your Wi-Fi and your 3G or 4G. I just want it to use my Wi-Fi and only do it when it's in range of the Wi-Fi that I'm connected to, so that's why that's checked. And really that's all there is to it, so you can save it. So now we have a folder pair from a folder on box.net to a folder here on my device. So now what I can do is I can click on this little arrow here, and I can hit the Sync Now button, and I can let it start synchronizing. And so what should happen is it should synchronize your folders. It'll kick off and it'll start synchronizing. And if you come into the main menu and go into Sync Status, you can see what your device has synchronized. So right now it's telling me it's doing a sync of my KM PDF folder, and pretty soon you'll see all the files that are listed there as it's doing it. It does take a little bit of time. As you can see, one just kicked in and it's starting to download one of the files. So you just let it run, just leave it running. Might plug it into your power so it's charging while it's running. And when you come back, you'll have every file that's in that folder on your device, and you don't have to mess with it anymore. So it's a pretty nice setup. So anyway, that's basically the way to use Method 5, and it's using a program called Folder Sync Lite, and I think you'll really enjoy it. I hope you've enjoyed this tutorial.